Good afternoon, everyone. This is an update on the tropics for September 7th, 2022. We have about 4 disturbances right now in the Atlantic by itself, and we still do have Hurricane K, we have Hurricane Danielle, we have also Hurricane Earl, which is again now a hurricane heading towards Bermuda. Let's get right into it here. Here's the tropical basin for the Atlantic and portions of the Eastern Pacific. We do have Hurricane Earl that is currently traveling northward towards Bermuda. That will bring mostly tropical storm impacts, but again, things can change and the path can wobble, bringing that possibly hurricane conditions there in Bermuda in a couple of days. We do have Hurricane Danielle up there in the very northern portion of the Atlantic, which should be weakening into a tropical storm very soon. We have also a disturbance right here, still west of the Cabo Verde Islands. It has moved westward a lot overnight here, and this is now a 70% chance of development within the next 5 days. We have a new disturbance coming off of Africa, and that has now been upgraded to a 30% chance of a cyclone formation in 5 days. Here's the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook, and as you can see, we have Hurricane Earl, we have Hurricane Danielle, and we have those two disturbances. Hurricane Earl currently has around 85-mile-per-hour winds, so very close to a Category 2 hurricane. Hurricane Danielle is at 80 miles per hour, so right about the same, and really not weakening much. Now, this was actually a Category 2 hurricane at once. Now, this did weaken and we even strengthened back up again, and then weakened again, and then strengthened back up again, all this far north in the Atlantic, which is very surprising here. It's actually surviving for quite a bit here until it decides to really weaken down into a post-tropical storm. And now we do have those two disturbances. Like I said, that one that is currently west of the Cabo Verde Islands, that has a 70% chance of a cyclone formation in 5 days. That will be a fish storm, since it is going to be traveling northward due to that high pressure system just to the north of it. And we also do have that new disturbance, which does have a chance to head westward into the Caribbean here later on as it enters the main development region. But again, that is heading still a little bit more northwestward, so that could also be a fish storm type system. We've seen both of these in the models here for around this time, so I'm not surprised here, but definitely need to watch them. Let's look at the Eastern Pacific here. We do have Hurricane K, which I think is a Category 2 hurricane, which I just verified it, and it is definitely a Category 2 hurricane with 105-mile-per-hour winds. That is going to be going here into the Mexico, California peninsula here throughout the next few days. As you can see, it makes landfall in the California peninsula around Friday, around Thursday or Friday. This is going to actually be around 6 p.m. of Friday, 6 p.m. of Thursday Central Time. So that'll be around 4 p.m. of Western Pacific Time for this area. And as you can see, it actually heads into around Southern California. Now, of course, that weakens a lot over time as it makes landfall, but it's going to bring a lot of rainfall there to Arizona, Southern California, and a lot of that peninsula of Mexico there. And it generally stays around the Category 2 hurricane as it makes landfall in the California peninsula. Now let's look at the northern Atlantic here as Hurricane Earl continues to strengthen here. It will possibly make it to a major hurricane with 120-mile-per-hour winds and make a very close approach here to Bermuda there. As you can see, right now, Bermuda will be seeing tropical storm conditions. We have a tropical storm warning out right now for Bermuda, which means that you will see tropical storm conditions within the next 48 hours. Now, there's that one disturbance as that passes Bermuda that doesn't really develop into much according to this GFS model. And we also do have that secondary disturbance, which also doesn't really develop into much at all as well. And we do have quite a bit of circulation with this one disturbance here, which is not yet an invest, which is now an invest. We can go ahead and look at the satellite imagery for this. As you can see, you definitely see a lot of that mid-level circulation with it, with those mid-level clouds. And you can definitely see a lot of that convection is more than the northern portion of this Invest 95L. So as you can see, again, with these models, you don't really see much development at all, just mainly some lingering circulation with a possible development, but it is, again, got to be headed into wind shear and dry air, limiting a lot of that development there. And there's again that disturbance there, which also doesn't develop into much due to some wind shear and dry air that's going to be in that region due to that just high pressure system pretty much guiding all these MDR storms right up to the north, turning into those fish storms. Now again, these could also develop, these could also bring some rainfall and gusty winds here to portions of Portugal and Spain later on into middle of September. And again, just because of these high pressure systems just guiding them right into Europe, and maybe some more development there as we reach the end of September, which that is a long time out, so we're not going to pay attention to that. Well, let's go ahead and look at the European model and see what it's doing with these storms here. And let's go on to see Earl. It makes it to possibly that major hurricane status as it gets to down to a whopping 940 millibars with that Euro model. As you can see, it does have Invest 95L strengthening a little bit, but not really much at all. It does have that other disturbance here, which actually does develop into a little something, possibly a tropical storm around September 17th, according to these Euro run. And we've seen this trending with these models for quite a while around middle September. Here's the icon model. We're at hour 180, and this is going to be about September 14th of 6 p.m. And we have a lot of activity here according to this icon model run. And look at this. We have these tropical waves here. Here's a secondary tropical wave right now. And this is going to be around September 9th, Friday. So only 2 days from now. And this continues to move northwestward, actually develops into a possible tropical storm. We have another disturbance around that apparently. And that may also form into a tropical storm, which we have a random low pressure system that comes off of the U.S., and this is only a couple days from now. This actually apparently gains traction as I head southward into the Atlantic, possibly even developing into a tropical storm. And that would be very interesting to see how that happens as it forms kind of that Fujiwara effect where it kind of rotates a little bit around Hurricane Earl. Here's a CMC model, and you know the typical Hurricane Earl making close impacts there to Bermuda. We have that secondary tropical wave that doesn't develop into much, but again, the CMC model shows development around September 15th, 17th, shows some sort of storm popping up here in the MDR. Now, with this high pressure system, it's just going to guide it again upwards to the northwest and then to the northeast, which is, again, good news for the United States. But then again, it's September, and I'm actually surprised that no storms yet have actually entered the main development regions, just because of these high pressures being a lot more stubborn this year with a lot of that guidance. Here's Hurricane K forecast cone and warnings and advisories, watches, whatever. As you can see, this does not make it to a major hurricane status. As you can see, we have a large swath here of tropical storm force winds now hitting portions of the California Peninsula. We have hurricane warnings out right now where this is expected to make a very close approach, possibly even a landfall on some of these very tiny loose islands of the California Peninsula. And again, it's going to be hurricane status for quite a while until around 6 a.m. Friday. It is expected to become a tropical storm, possibly even make a southern loop there. Some of these models do have it still going here, bringing some rainfall to California and Arizona by then. Now, we do have a lot of those tropical storm warnings, even reaching into the Gulf of California, as you can see there, because again, this tropical storm force wind extent is very large, and only those hurricane force winds are very small there, mainly in the very center of that low pressure of this hurricane. Flash flooding is going to be one of those main concerns, especially just east of San Diego. For the majority of Southern California here, we'll be seeing a lot of moderate rainfall, and this is just for the United States flash flooding potential, but a lot of the California Peninsula is again going to see a lot of flash flooding here throughout the next 3 days. If you did enjoy the forecast video on the latest tropics, we have a lot of stuff going on, so I'll keep you updated on everything. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you are new and turn on post notifications. You won't miss a single video on this channel. It'll just be notified to your device every single day I upload. Also, make sure to like this video, share this video with any friends or family. But as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.